Hey guys, so today we're going to talk about Stephanie Mirro's book, Wings of Magic. It's the fourth book in her Last Phoenix series, and is it on fire? Oh my gosh. Okay, so where we left off in the last book, Veronica had followed the big bad dark winter court fae into this portal that led to another realm. When she gets through and finally makes it to the other side, she finds the mages in a fight with people she does not recognize. And of course, she jumps in to help because that's who Veronica is. Like, she's gonna fight. She's a warrior. So she helps them fight off these dark mages. Then she passes out. She has dealing with a werewolf bite, and it's a rabid werewolf bite from an undead, like a zombie werewolf. So she's not even sure if she can heal from it, if it's going to make her turn into a werewolf. Like, she has no idea how this affects her abilities as a phoenix whatsoever. And it's making her sick, and she passes out. Then she has to go through healing. So she's in and out of consciousness. She hears voices. There are people around her. When she finally does wake up, there's a woman there who she kind of recognized, sort of looks like one of the women that she had helped fight, helped defeat the mages when she first arrived. Slowly, information starts coming in. They are suspicious of her. Apparently, they're an underground rebellion, and she is on the Phoenix homeworld. Now, she's been led to believe the Phoenix homeworld didn't exist anymore. That's the way her parents had raised her and her brother. She was led to believe that she was the last Phoenix in existence. And here she is on the Phoenix homeworld with a group of rebels because there is a usurper on the throne. Whoa. Okay, that's a lot to take in. And then she finds out that there are a whole bunch of things about being a phoenix that she knows nothing about. Her parents didn't teach her how to fight with her magic. Like, it's not something she'd ever even considered. She didn't know she could do it. And so they decide that as they start to trust her more and realize that she is loyal and that she's not like a spy or something, they start training her how to fight, how to use her magic the way that she should have been trained all along. And she realizes that part of the reason why her parents trained her the way that they did was so that they wouldn't, so that she wouldn't be noticeable and people wouldn't figure out what she was, right? Well, at one point, as she's being escorted to and from her room, she sees an older woman who kind of stops and looks at her in surprise and then keeps walking. Now, one of the things we have to remember is at this point, Veronica's hair is still brown. Is still the dark color she had dyed it when she went to hide out in Arizona. So she does look a little bit different. And this woman's reaction is going to be important later on because they find Ivan. And Ivan is the phoenix that she had followed into the realm to try to save him because he had told her that she was not the last phoenix, that he was also a phoenix. And she had felt responsible for him because he reminded her of her brother. And she demanded to be on the rescue mission. So Peter, the big, head honcho of this rebellion, said, okay, you can come on the rescue mission, and they go. And they go to rescue Ivan. The mages are keeping them, and the mages are near getting towards the capital. And apparently there's a connection between William, the head dark fae, and the person who took over, who chased out the royal family and took over the court, right? Well, Peter and Veronica get into the tent where Ivan is being kept, and they start to release him, and it seems like they're getting ready to get caught, and Peter's not giving out the call, and Peter's not giving the signal, and so Veronica does. She uses her phoenix cry and gives the signal, and Peter's looking at her like she has 3 heads. Like, what the heck is going on here, right? And so they fight. They escape. They get back to the cave with Ivan, and Peter starts accusing her. Where did you learn how to do that? How do you know how to do that? Like, in her face about it, right? Then the lady comes back. The older lady who had recognized her, and now Veronica's hair is blonde. And the lady tells her, it's revealed, and they want to know what her parents' names are. And she tells them the first names, her parents, no, what were their full names? And that's where it's revealed that her mother was Marilla and her father was Dimitri. And oh, FYI, those are the names of the king and queen. And then she says, well, Marilla's my middle name. I'm Veronica Marilla O'Neill. And they're like, you're the queen, you're the next queen, your parents were royalty. And her mind is blown. And basically, what it boils down to was it took her parents so long to conceive her and so long to have her themselves, to have Veronica in general. They were like ruling for like 200 years or something. And it took them so long to have her that the woman who ended up taking over the kingdom had everybody believing that they were incompatible or there was something wrong with them, and that the bloodline was over and the Murillo line was finished, because it's a matriarchy, of course. And so it boils down to this where she basically had everybody lose faith, and then came in and took over the palace, and she holds the people in the capital in a thrall, and it's almost like they can't think for themselves, while the whole rest of the country suffers. And it's gotten so bad that Dragon kind of completely cut them off. Like, the dragons won't have anything to do with them. Yes, there's dragons. I know, it made me super excited. So then Veronica says, okay, fine, these are my people. Well, first she kind of has like a freak out moment, and she's like, okay, well, I need to escape. She wants to go home. She wants to go save her, wants to go see Thane and Kit, and she wants to be with her friends. And it's one of those things where she feels like it's something she has to do. And Pavel, who is a very sweet, gentle giant, is set on guard on her, and she uses the last knife she has that she had tucked away in her hair that still has some of her sedative on it, and she knocks him out. And she goes to slip away and is almost caught by Peter and Ivan as they're talking, and she hides in a little hidey hole, and that's when she finds out that Ivan's family is being held captive. And Peter asks him, well, why didn't you say something to her? And he was like, I didn't want to put any more pressure on her. It's, I want her to make this decision for herself. And that's when Veronica realizes that these are her people, and her people need her, and so she has to fight for them. So she does. She demands to go when the rebellion attacks. They call up the other rebel leaders. Only one of them refuses to actually show. Like, he shows up to the meeting and he's really skeptical, and Veronica steps into the fire and is like, oh, it's me. And her aunt confirms, yeah, she has an aunt who's still alive. Her aunt confirms it. It's her. Oh yeah, the old lady has a picture of her mother, her father, and Veronica as a baby. And she says, that's why I thought you looked so familiar, because you look like your mother. Yeah, to confirm her identity, right? Okay, so they attack. The one guy, he doesn't show up, doesn't bring any support. They'll have to deal with him later. But so they attack, and there are underground tunnels that Ivan leads her and Pavel through because she decides she's going to try and mitigate the amount of death that happens. And if she can get to Galinda, who's the usurper, and kill her before anything else happens, then maybe not everybody will die, right? So off they go into the tunnels to do this, and they get through. Well, they come upon two guards guarding this entrance, and their eyes are completely black. They're being controlled by some sort of magic, right? They defeat them. They get inside. They cross the throne room. They're going to her rooms. They get attacked by guards. It's a big, huge battle. One thing we need that's important is right before they left, she was given a revolver Peter told her it was kind of a last ditch thing. Like, if you have to use this, you have nothing left, right? So they're battling, and the only thing that can kill phoenixes is phoenix fire. So weapons that are basically encased with phoenix fire can kill other phoenixes, and Pavel gets stabbed. And Veronica surrounds him with a ring of fire to keep people from anybody else getting to him, and Ivan's with him, and Ivan tells her to go on. Ivan's got him. It's fine. Go defeat the usurper, right? So she gets into this room, and this woman is like, oh, I can defeat you myself, even though I have my guards, and the time of your reign is over, and you don't even know what I am. And she doesn't. Like, she's never seen this woman's magic before. She's never sensed this kind of magic before. It's not anything she's ever seen, and all of the community members she's come in contact with. And this woman just encases her in blackness, and she can't get out, and she can't fight her way out, and she can't see anything, and she doesn't know what to do. And every time she gets free of this blackness, she keeps trying to charge. It keeps trying to hit her with her magic, and basically it drains her till she has a little spark left, just a little, not enough to defeat this woman. And it's her last ditch effort, and she pulls out that revolver and she points it at her, and bam. And this super powerful being who's been ruling her world for 25 years from a revolver bullet. Like, how? That's some Han Solo type stuff there, right? You know? Or Indiana Jones. Oh, you're going to come at me with a crazy whip? Pff, I'm going to pull my gun on you. Like, awesome, right? One thing I want to toss in here. That mark above her boob, right? So she got a mark above her left boob in the last book, and it was never really addressed. There's some pain, it throbs sometimes, it gets painful. Well, Peter is an attractive man, and right the night before the battle, they went to the hot springs that are in the caves, and oh, I'm gonna sneeze. Bless me. And her and her little group of friends were all hanging out in these hot springs, and everybody left her and Peter by themselves. And her and Peter started kissing, started getting, you know, kind of naughty with each other. And Veronica's finally going to be able to scratch that itch she's been feeling for 4 books, this poor woman, right? And the mark starts to sear. And she backs up. And she's crying out, and he's like, oh, what happened? What did I do? Da, da, da. She shows him the mark, and he gets mad at her because what she doesn't know, but what he knows, is that her flame has chosen a mate, and that is her mate mark. Who do you think has the matching mark? Oh, that would be Thane the Reaper, who can't make babies with her because he's dead. Oh, and he's getting ready to ascend to be an angel, which means then he will no longer have any emotions. So then he can't feel anything for her. Her flame is totally stupid to pick that dumb flame, okay? And Peter's anger kind of subsides once he realizes that she didn't know what it meant. And he was like, that's your flame's mate. You won't be unable to mate with anyone else until you either get to be with, you know, mate with your flame or break that bond. So there's hope the bond can be broken. Not that I don't like Thane. I guess my issue with him is that he's dead. So it's like, okay, well, yeah, that I'm not into dead guys. Not into dead zombies, vampires. Meh. I like something with a little heat. You know, though the shifters have always been kind of my thing, right? Anyway, defeat the evil bad, and she gets coronated, crowned as queen of her people. And that's where the book ends there for her, as we see her get coronated, and then, you know, she vows that she's going to go back, because if the mark is still there, that means Thane hasn't ascended yet to be an angel, and she still has a chance to say goodbye to him, which is what she really wants to do. Then we get an epilogue. Cue back to our realm, where Kit and Thane have now developed like this really close relationship because they both cared for Veronica, and so they meet up apparently several times a week to try and figure out where she is. Excuse me. Kit's trying to trace her, Thane's trying to get into all of his angel connections. Nothing. They got nada. And it's the day before, like the night before or day before Thane is going to ascend, and so he shows up and, you know, one last time and tells Kit to tell Veronica, you know, and he's not even sure that he will feel the same way about her once he ascends, and it's all kind of murky how the angel things kind of work, and it's kind of weird because like Jess has she cares for Veronica, and Adam had a relationship, you know, a friendship with Veronica's parents. So it's not like they don't just give up all of their relationships. They're not Jedi. But it's kind of awkward, and who knows how he'll feel after it happens. So it's one of those things where I'm really interested to see what she does in book 5. Like, you know, she's going to come back, and is she going to be with Thane? Is she going to get to have that moment? Is he already going to be gone? I mean, Adam could send him anywhere in the world with this, you know, once he becomes an angel. And so it's just one of those things. But, you know, William's dead. And Glinda was dead, and Glinda was the one who they found out was ultimately responsible for Maddox's death. And so there's closure on that. So it's really just going to be interesting to see where it goes from here, because now Veronica's like a queen, and she has responsibilities to her own people, and she's technically not the last Phoenix anymore. So I'm really interested to see where this goes from here, and I can't wait to share it with you and how excited it makes me. Happy reading!